Guavo Learning.
Yes, sir.
What's up, David?
What's going on?
I love what you're doing. It's great. I was just talking to our friend. Well, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Antonio.
Antonio. I was talking to Antonio before you came in here about how I went to a school in Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I don't know. It was kind of like a charter school. I don't know if they called it a charter school. This is like the early 2000s. But they brought in these kids. They had the kids, and when I walked into the school, when the kids filed out to go between classes, think about when you used to go to school. Anytime you were out of the classroom, it was madness. Yeah. There always had to be somebody like riling up the kids. You know what I mean? Like there would at least be a few kids that, you know, got out of hand. All these kids walking straight in line, quiet in the hallway. Quiet in the hallway.
That's surprising.
Have you ever witnessed that?
You sure it was Lynn?
It was in Lynn. Yeah, it was like in a church or something like that.
Closed.
Yeah.
That don't sound like Lynn.
No. So then we went into the classroom, and I was telling Antonio, right? You walk in a classroom normally. When I was little, if anybody who's not, first of all, I'm barely paying attention when it's just a regular classroom. Right. But if anybody walks into the classroom, a principal, another teacher, another kid, a parent, all of a sudden I'm paying attention to that person. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're just like distracted. These kids, we walked in, a group of us walked in. They're all looking straight, ignoring us. We walked to the back of the class. They're all looking straight, ignoring us. The person that was giving us a tour and explaining the method was talking to us in the back of the class. They weren't talking loud because the kids were learning, but they were talking. The kids didn't even do like a head turn to be like, who are these people? It was amazing. But the reason is because they were learning through music. So they were like, and it was all current. So this is like in the early 2000s. So it was, you know, it was 50 Cent music, Ja Rule, Nelly. But they would do math. They would do English. All the subjects, they did it, you know, through song. And I think that is such a huge way for little kids to learn that nobody utilizes. And that's what you're doing, right?
That's exactly what I'm trying to make it fun at the end of the day, right? So it's, it's what can I do to make them catch, not necessarily make it catchy, but make it stick, right? So I started at my daughter. It started with her.
How old is she?
It's funny when you said Guava Learning. It was her who said it. So in the intro, it's her saying Guava Learning. You kind of sounded like her. As soon as you said that, I'm like, "Wow, was that her?" You must have been listening to the song, but
they're catchy. I'm like
exactly. So I'm trying to kind of continue that, right? And kind of, I got the idea from. Have you ever heard of Gracie's Corner?
No.
Similarly, she does it for like English music. Okay, it is really good. It's like bangers. It's like good music. So I got that idea, and kind of that's where I took off. But I want to do that in Spanish, and that's what I like to do. Kind of just make it fun for them, and and make sure that they learn at the end of the day.
It's funny because I have kids of all different ages. Like my oldest he's about to turn 26. My youngest is 5. So I've experienced all those shows that they grew up with music. And it used to be straight trash. Like it used to be like, for my oldest, it was, Barney and
Barney like that, man?
Barney. Well,
Barney used to be lit.
No, compared to what it is now. So it was Barney and it was the group of dudes, and they sang the hot
Wiggles?
potato, the Wiggles.
Yeah.
That was straight trash because then when my older daughters came along, it was this group called the Imagination Movers.
Yeah.
You know them?
Yeah.
All right. All of a sudden, their music started getting a little better. They had a good theme. They attached a show to it. Then those dudes from Big Time Rush came along. They stepped the game up. Now, forget it. Now there's shows that I don't even know that there's just so many of them because you go to like Netflix, you go to Disney. There's a ton of shows like that.
Exactly. That's where it started.
And the best thing for little kids to learn, the best time for little kids to learn different language, the best time for a human being to learn a different language is when you're a little kid.
Exactly.
Because you're just absorbing it.
Exactly.
It's just what you're speaking. I have a friend who she's Russian. The husband is from Morocco. And so she talks to him. She talks to her daughter. Her daughter is 3 or something. She talks to the daughter in Russian only at home. Okay. The father only talks in
Arabic.
I was gonna say whatever was only in Arabic at home. She goes to a school that is English and French. This girl's gonna be she's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah.
By the time she's
What
like a
town
teenager.
is that? What town?
Well, they're where they live now. They're from Waltham.
Got it.
They're moving to Concord or something. But I don't know. The school might be in Newton or Chestnut Hill area. So it's like a private school.
Got it.
But they don't speak English to her at home because they said, you know what? As soon as she walks out of the house, she's going to be getting English all the time. So why are we going to bother speaking English to this little girl?
Exactly.
So this little girl's going to be dangerous.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's what I do to my daughter and my son. I'm speaking to them in Spanish. I don't speak to them in English at all.
That's great.
It's kind of difficult, obviously, just because she's only hearing it from me. My family's in Springfield, in New York, all over, and I'm not around Spanish. In Revere, there's a lot of Spanish people, and there's a lot of stores and things like that. But it's not the same when me growing up having my grandmother speaking to me. That was my first language too, so that's where I was able to kind of put one. I want to make sure that at the end of the day she knows both languages. She struggles kind of speaking it. I think that's how it is as a kid. They understand it. She understands it, but she kind of struggles. So I'm hoping to, whenever the time is right. I think Lynn has some Spanish immersion schools and things like that. I'm considering how I could make that as the first primary language, and then obviously English. She already has that in the back pocket. So
yeah,
it's work, because if you're not doing it, I'm telling my family, hey, speak to her at all times in Spanish too, because I want to make sure that she understands it and speaks it. As another language. One thing is understanding, and speaking it is a different beast too. But she tries, and I just keep on her every chance I get. I'm telling her, hey, how do you say this? And do you speak Spanish yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing?
I Puerto Rican.
Oh, Puerto Rican.
So I grew up Spanish, right? Speaking Spanish. I learned English from Sesame Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I learned English.
That's awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow.
And my kids, my oldest, he's half Puerto Rican, obviously from me, half Guatemalan and Dominican from his mom.
Okay.
So he was getting it from the grandparents and stuff like that. A little bit from me and his mom. I speak like 90% English just because I'm on the freaking radio talking English.
Exactly.
But,
so you know how it is.
But he could speak Spanish because he grew up hearing it from the grandparents at home, both sides. My daughters from my ex-wife, half white. So they weren't around my parents as much. Okay. So they learned it through school. They understand it.
Yep.
But trying to get them to say a couple words in Spanish, forget about it. And now my youngest ones with my wife, my wife, she's like, I just want to learn it. So she would have my parents and my family just talk to her in straight Spanish.
Yep. And
she'll do that with the kids. And so they, kind of like your daughter, like they understand it like crazy.
Right.
They're a little hesitant to talk about it. Well, my daughter's a little more. My son will talk it a little more.
Yeah, I think mine has to do with just like if they're not around it, right? Because the friends are all speaking English and they're kind of like little timid about it. But yeah, it's not nonstop work, but it's something I take pride on, right? And I want to do and instill in her, and she loves it. And actually, just watching her watch my videos is amazing. Just making sure that because she picks up on it too.
How old is she?
She's 4 years old. And then my son is 7 months, so I'm starting him early too. So I got warmed up with her, so now I'm focusing on kind of what can I do to kind of improve. I think that's how I started. What my daughter in 2020, she was born, and that's how I started with this whole idea, and then making it so that now my son could just kind of pick up and take it from there. But yeah, to what you were saying too, I forgot what my thought. You can pause this. I don't have to like.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I'm like trying to like be politically correct about like what I want to say, and I'm like, but you had what were you saying?
Sesame Street, imagination movers.
Yeah, just
No, but it's true. It's a fact. Like my man's, he moved from Ecuador, and I hired him. He was one of my line cooks. They don't speak no English, but all we listened to was rap, like in the kitchen. And like one day, Brian, all I heard was whoa, whoa, whoa. He was singing Fabulous Ball Drop.
Yeah.
Yo, we all just looked at me, and he's like, just starts rapping. I'm like, yo, when you start speaking English? He was like, bro, like, because of the music. That's how
It really
is. It's wild. Like how you can learn so much just by music.
Being immersive, I think that's what I was trying to kind of come back to. Just being immersed in it and diving right into it, and just like even books. I'm buying her books in Spanish so that I'm reading to her in Spanish, and she's looking at the letters, she's putting the words. This one, I just bought one for Dominicans. I'm Dominican, and I'm kind of talking about some of our cultures and things that we grew up doing. Like as example, we say like bendición, like shon papi, shon mami, like blessings, like when you meet someone for the first time. So I'm kind of trying to instill that in her and also get her to understand the importance of kind of, what that meaning is. And obviously we say it back like, Dios te bendiga, and whatever, and just kind of keeping her aware of why we're doing it. Because growing up, I just did it, right, without understanding like the why and like the importance about respect and kind of, hey, this is kind of what we do and what we're about. And we all, it's all culture, just trying to keep that Dominican culture alive. I was saying, you speak Spanish, I was saying, if we could do a section with speaking in Spanish, we could just for we could
sing.
Spanish community.
Me and him would be out of this. You'd be like,
we could sing. But what made you want to do this to get started? Was it when your daughter was born, or?
Exactly. So she was born in 2020. So watching YouTube videos, we saw Miss Rachel. She does things in English. Gracie's Corner. Just a lot of content. There's simple Spanish. There's a lot of stuff out there. So obviously, like I was saying, I want to make sure that she learns Spanish. Yeah. So I was trying to figure out ways that outside of just me speaking to her, that she can pick it up, right? So I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I felt like not necessarily, I don't know, I feel like something was missing in a way, because not that she wasn't picking it up, but I just felt like these are great, but I don't know, something is missing, right? So then
Dembow beat.
Exactly. So make it more reggaeton and make it more, put more sazon to it, put a little bit more flavor to it, right? And that's kind of where I got the idea, because I was like searching. I'm like, I have never heard anything like this for like reggaeton or like anything outside of like, if you do Wheels on the Bus, right? It's just like the basic melody and the stuff that we all aware of, right? So we could all pick up on it. And then I was kind of thinking about it. And so it started in 2020. I had the idea. It was just a thought. Started a couple years later, what I also wanted to do is I wanted to separate it from kind of what everyone else was doing, because if you look at like Gracie's Corner, which is a great show, but it's like cartoons. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I put a person like myself, or like, my nephews, my nieces, my daughter, people in it, so that you're seeing a person actually do the movements, right? Because what I'm about is I'm not just making music just to make the music. I'm actually making it so that we improve the motor skills too, and like hand-eye coordinating, and like when you see a word, you move it. It's like that. What's that? What's the word? Not like kind of like the connecting words to movement. At the end of the day, it's kind of what I want to do, because there's a million songs out there, but I'm focusing on, when you see me, I just did cabeza, hombros, rodillas, y pies. So when I say cabeza, I'm moving. I did Wheels on the Bus, I'm moving, right? So it's all about the motion, and I'm picking up on the words because I'm moving. So then what I did is I added a person. I'm adding myself to it instead of doing cartoons. Right. So instead of so I kind of like mixed a little bit about what I saw everybody was out there doing, and I just made it my own. So I had like Gracie's Corner, kind of her upbeat and her bangers, and then like Miss Rachel was her actually doing the stuff, and the motions is her always doing things. I kind of blended that over and added a little sauce into it, made it Spanish, and make it so that the kids love it. And make it fun at the end of the day. If you're not having fun listening to my music and dancing, then, I don't want to do it.
You got a clean look, too. That's very important when you're trying to appeal to the kids.
I know. I used to have a mustache.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, I wouldn't be able to. Antonio, you wouldn't be able to. No. The parents would be like, turn that off. Even if they don't understand. You could be singing Wheels on the Bus. Exactly. You could sing Heads, No Shoulders. Nope, turn it off.
Exactly.
That's why I'm the guy in the background.
Yeah, it's my man. It's my support system. No, but it's interesting you said that, because I was thinking about kind of my evolution and how I got here. Is in 2022 I went to my boy's. He lives in Atlanta, and he makes music. Yeah. So I was like, I went to him. I'm like, hey, this is my idea. I had the thought in my head, and I thought I was gonna crush it. It was a flop. It wasn't like what I expected to do, because I was like too like not hardcore, but like something along the line. I was like, I'm very like sometimes just like passionate, sometimes I'm like aggressive in a way, but like in a nice way. Just I don't know. I think just being Spanish, I'm kind of like on point, right?
That's what my wife says to me whenever I start talking to her passionately. She goes, turn your voice down. She says, your volume is a little too high right now. I go, I'm excited. I don't know what you want me to say.
Exactly. So that's in 2022 when I went to my boy's studio. We did a session, and it didn't come out well. The song wasn't good. It was just like, I think what I was learning about myself is just that I was trying to make a club banger, like a song for like, for you guys, but that's not the reality, right? I'm making songs for kids. Yeah. So then 2 years later, I I went through some stuff personally, internally, and I ended up running the Boston Marathon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think I'm saying that to say this, that like everything happens for a reason, because I was kind of learning about myself and kind of like looking within, like not necessarily why I'm so hard, but just kind of like, you know, there's areas I can kind of soften up and be a little bit more, you know, smoother, kind of slower, and kind of, you know, actually connect with the kids, because that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear you yelling and being blah, blah, blah. So, you know, when I ran the marathon, I kind of went through the whole, like, figuring out myself, do that, right? Because it's all about the process, right? You got to work hard. I had high goals. I wanted to run under 3 hours. That's crazy. Like that. In the
Did
Boston,
you do it?
No. I got close, 3:26. But
Damn.
it was work. But you can imagine, I got
Yeah.
a coach. You know, I started to kind of work on my, like, internally, like the self-talk. Like, I can do it. And then I was able to do it. And I think with that, once I completed that, so that happened, you know, I think 2023, and then now come 2024, I kind of like learned a lot about myself, and I kind of like not like softened up, and I'm like, yeah, you're making songs for kids. And I think like internally, all the trauma, all the things I was kind of going through, kind of like aligned in the right way, kind of healed, and make sure that now I'm like more sensitive, you know, a little bit softer, not, you know, it's more like, hey, this is for the kids, and then like trying to give them something that they could feel at the end of the day.
Yeah. You have a good energy too, because that's what little
appreciate you.
kids, it's funny because I'll go to the things for my kids, and I could see the other parents looking at me kind of like, oh, what the hell is this guy doing here? Like, I just don't look like a parent that's good with kids because I'm all tattooed and everything. I'm better than.
Yeah.
I went a couple of weeks ago. It was I don't even know what the hell it was. Fall something for my daughter's class, and it was a bunch of mothers and me. Fathers never do this stuff. Why is it that all the kids want to hang out with me?
Yeah.
Right.
Because but you know what it is about kids? It's you just gotta. A lot of people will talk to kids like they're adults, and they'll expect the kid almost to meet them where they are. No, you got to meet them where they are. Meet the kid. Be silly. Be creative. Have fun. That's all little kids want, and you can teach them so much doing that. But it takes work.
Right.
Because you know, kids are kids.
Right.
You know,
Patient.
yeah. But I used to go do, read for all my other kids. I've gone to stuff for their schools to read. And every time I've done it, you know, most parents go and they go in there and read whatever the story is and, you know, keep it basic. Or I'll be on a page for like five minutes just being like, what do you think the cat's going to do?
Right.
Or whatever. Like, turn the page over. What do you think what do you think is going to happen next? And the freaking kids love that stuff.
That's,
you know?
that's definitely David.
I know.
100%.
Yes,
That's what yeah, exactly. And
That's David, for
it's
sure.
interesting too, because growing up I always wanted to be like a mascot or something, like where I'm just like having fun and just like, you know, just expressing myself or whatever. Thankfully, you know, I'm in a position where I'm like, yo, this worked out well, where I'm kind of doing what I've been wanting to do kind of all my life. And I don't know, something about that, like jumping around, having fun, you know, playing with kids and making people laugh, and it's just.
And dude, 113K views on the first. I was like, whoa! Like as soon as I saw that, that's awesome. Were you like shocked when you started seeing those like numbers climb up on your first upload?
Yeah,
so wait, which one was the first one that you put up?
That's the Wheels on the Bus.
Wheels on the Bus. And you just put it out there?
Yeah.
And you didn't
So
just naturally picked up?
No. So I through ads.
Okay.
Yeah. So Google ads. So so I tried a few things. I tried social media. I think Instagram has ads. TikTok. It's funny because like I've never used TikTok. My wife runs my TikTok. Kind of, you know, I let her do her thing. Yeah, 'cause she's great at it. She's on it all day.
Shout out, Lindsay.
Yeah, right. Shout out. So she's always on it. So she runs that TikTok. But yeah, I tried that, but it didn't move too much. But once I threw it on Google Ads, I met with like one of the experts, and they kind of helped me kind of align it, because it's all about how you set it up.
Right.
But yeah, I have it it's all around the world. I have Venezuela as my number one.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I have DR. I have Mexico in there, and just all the Latin communities, Latin countries that it's out there. So I got Brazil, you know, and
wait until the people who don't speak English want to do it just for their kids to learn a different language. When they figure that out,
exactly,
you know, that's going to be huge. So you got the Wheels on the Bus. You got Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to go into original music? Like create, you know, your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be eventually.
Okay.
so I'm working on If You're Happy and You Know It.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm working on stuff that's already out there just so I can get my feet wet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the goal to eventually to just make my own and just create from scratch instead of kind of going off of. Yeah. So what I do is I kind of, you get the melody, you get the beat, and you get like the basics, but I try to add my own spin to it, right? So like head, shoulder, knees, and toes is not just eyes and ears and book, it's actually I did eyebrows, I did cheeks, I did dientes, teeth and forehead, and then I do neck, elbow, in Spanish obviously, but I kind of just add a little spin, even just so I can continue to teach them different parts of the body, right? And then now the If You're Happy, I'm gonna work on like emotions or like jumping and things like that. So
that's good.
Super excited. Yeah, this is a beast itself because now it's another part of kind of just what I've been thinking about a lot is just the whole process, right? I think I kind of wanted to tell you guys like just work. It's great work, right? It's learning. It's all like actually like I got to figure it out. Like what I mean? I think that's something that I strive on, and that's something that kind of keeps me going. It's just like how do I figure out copyright, or how do I figure out how to sing? Even just how to sing, I don't. And that's what kind of the point I was making earlier, where I was like not hard, but like kind of tough and like you can't. And when you sing, that comes off terrible. I was in the studios, I didn't sound
drill rapper,
right. I sound terrible. I didn't sound good at all. And then so just like I went on YouTube, hit up my boy, just like, hey, how do you sing? Like I have people in the music and just my friends who do this, and I'm like, how do you sing? Like teach me, because I want to learn. I go on YouTube, learning how to like. You got to do things from the core, and it's like
your
things
diaphragm.
Yeah, exactly. There's all that stuff that I'm like.
You got to smile.
Right.
When you sing.
Yeah. Even you can hear.
That,
I can hear myself too when I smile. It's not about like, just singing. It's like slowly kind of breathing too. So like all that, it's all a learning process that I'm so super excited to do too. So
yeah. So you come up with the lyrics first, and then you have a dude that makes your music and all that stuff, and then you have like a video team.
Yeah.
Still got a team already. You're gonna
not
be on
a team. I'm all one man. No, so it's the beat comes from my boy Duke, who I was connected to him through one of my best friend Drew, who lives in LA, who works with Kanye. He works with some top artists. The Game. Really? Yeah, he's doing his thing out there, and he put me on to Duke, who he also works with The Game and all those guys and making music. And I was fortunate enough to just to have that connection, and I threw him the idea, and he took it and made it what it is now. So when you hear those beats, it's Duke. He's doing his thing. So once he makes the beat, I have the lyrics already ready because I have the idea of kind of how I want it to go, and then he kind of just goes off of what I tell him, and then after I'm ready, I go into the studio. Yeah. I get it. I have to put it down. When I first started, I was looking for a couple places. I don't know. I was like up at 3 a.m. one day, and then I just saw something. My boy Sean, who was in Everett, he's an engineer. And I was like, something like clicked. His Fire Studio. Something clicked. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna check this out, see how it is. I ended up going to his studio, and he blessed me. Like even just when by then I understood the concepts of singing, but he does like magic. Whatever he does like makes me sound good. And, you guys are all professional. You guys know more about that music, that world more than I do. But yeah, just being an engineer, sound engineer, which like, some people just go out there and they're just like engineers. Is like, this guy's legit because, he knows how to, move whatever, right, to make it sound good. Once I'm done with the engineer, I get the song done. Next is the video. I got a videographer, Pete. Yeah. He's the man. He's awesome. He's been doing this for years, and he get into it. He records me. I do it. He mixes it up. He has an animator too that adds the animation to it because that's another key part that I want to make sure that I include in it. Some animations because that's what kids like. Those bubbles, those things are going crazy. That's what I like to hear. And then once it's ready, he sends it, and I publish it.
And are you paying all these dudes?
Yeah.
Oh man.
He got it though.
Nah.
He got it though.
Yeah. What do you do for work? What's your?
I'm in sales.
Oh, you're in sales.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is my side gig.
You want to know what's so funny is I met he's my sister's best friend's husband, and I would always see him like when they would all like hang out and stuff. And I heard you take a call once, and when I mean the personality shift, I was like, that was some American Psycho Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Because David's like fun, he's vibrant, he's loud, and then he's like, hi, this is David Gonzalez. And I was like, who the hell is that in the back?
What do you sell?
Software. So it's a company named Everbridge. So they do emergency notifications. So
That
software on the cloud.
Torturous.
Nah, it's actually really good.
Nah, but it is wild
Boston
how he could switch it up though. Like,
No,
yeah,
I'm just
I
saying,
didn't even
just
recognize who he
selling
was.
software. No wonder you're doing this for fun.
Right.
Selling songs to kids. So okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I got so many. See, my problem is I have a lot of ideas for stuff. I'm a great idea person for someone like you.
Yes, sir.
Because I never execute it. But I'm like, it'd be cool if you did something like this. Because first of all, you're gonna be eventually leaving the software crap. Leaving it. This is gonna blow up. I can tell you that right now.
You.
And then you're gonna be going on tour. So you got to work on, not to add anything else to your plate, but you have to work on your choreography for the live shows.
Right.
And you got to incorporate, this is all stuff like down the line.
Yes, sir.
Incorporate characters.
Right.
Like little, whatever, just like little friends, an animal, a rabbit.
Right.
Kids love
All
rabbits.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not
Something
joking, like
right.
those
Yeah.
animal friends, stuff like that, because those are going to be the ones that when you go on tour,
Right.
they're going to be the ones dancing on stage, having the kids sing along, bringing the kids on stage so they
Right.
could dance and sing with them.
Right.
And also, I know you're not doing this for money, but it's nice to make a little money from this stuff. Merchandise, baby.
Right.
The T-shirts, the toys, all that shit. My kids, right? There's what the hell's the cat show? Gabby's Dollhouse. You heard of that one?
Yes.
Gabby's Dollhouse.
My daughter loves that one.
My daughter loved that show right when it started, and she loved one of the characters on it. Now there's Gabby's Dollhouse. I mean, they had lunch boxes, all that stuff. She was into the show so early that when she wanted one of the characters for Christmas or her birthday, I had to go on Etsy and have a person make a stuffed animal of it because there was no toys available for it.
Oh, wow.
So
It's legit.
have all that stuff on set because especially now with when kids want something, the parents always, especially at a certain age,
Exactly.
you get to an age where a kid wants something and you're like, no, we can't afford it. But like when they're little, you try and do whatever you can to get it for them.
Exactly.
And something like that, I could see them being like, oh, I want a Guavo Learning.
Yes, sir.
Whatever,
I like that. Yeah, no, that's actually one of the main reasons of kind of what I wanted, how I even got into it is because I was like thinking like I want people to dress up like Guavo for Halloween.
That.
Like, you know what I mean? I imagine just walking around. So what I did, so just everything I did, like even just to the shoes I'm wearing, like I had to hit up it was all friends and Tone, asking Tone for ideas. I'm like, yo, what should I do? You know what I mean? He always like, you get advice from people and you mold it into kind of what I want, right? So even just like my outfit, put a backwards hat. I got a Guavo. It's actually a guava. You ever had a guava, the fruit?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so guava, right? So it's a guava with a cap on, like a graduation cap, and it says Guavo on it on the side. So it just that was a process to get that going. You know what I mean? I had to go on Fiverr. I had to get someone to design it, and I got the logo down. And then once I got the logo down, I had to get it patched into my jacket. Yeah. So that's kind of like the whole process of starting that. I trademarked Guavo Learning too. Opened up a business.
Smart.
So
That's smart.
exactly. So the idea around putting everything in place to hopefully kind of protect myself, right, from things. But yeah, just having that, the idea of having people dress up like Guavo for Halloween, and then even just the Guavo logo, that could be obviously stuff that could be merched and whatnot.
And the good thing too with this is like, before when you want to make a show like that, people had to come up with like you had to like create a show. Oh, we got to teach kids whatever. We got to teach kids to wash their hands or whatever. Right. You got to create like a 22-minute, half-hour show about it. Now, Coco Melon?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Who doesn't?
That's what I'm saying.
We know it very well.
Melon, right? So that thing starts with my kids. They're not into it as much, but when they were into it hardcore, I didn't know what it was. I put it on, and it was I would be like, what's the episode? Right. I didn't understand. And my wife said, it's not episodes. It's just like nonstop songs. And I was like, really? And I didn't think it was a big deal. And then I realized that once the little dee-doo-doo-ding, dee-doo-doo-ding, once that thing, like the kids, It's like it conditions them. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Your daughter saying Guavo Learning?
Hey, that was the idea. Yeah, my boy came up with it. He was telling me about it. You got to add something in the beginning just to introduce it.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was just gonna get it right into it, and then my sign, like the sign is like Guavo Palo Niño. I was just gonna jump right into that, but I was like, I needed something before that, and it was crazy because I was like, I recorded her voice like in the closet because at my house because I needed to like block off the noise.
No echo
exactly. Like I hear, and then she did it, and then my engineer kind of like increased or did something to it to kind of make it sound stronger and legit, and then after that I got the logo, I got it animated so that it bounces into Guava Learning, which is what's it now. So
it came out fire. It came out so good.
The crazy thing is those like all those kid songs, like my daughter, she controls the radio, which is annoying. Right? But I feel like parents is gonna like it too, because like it's not annoying though, because the beat hits. Yeah. Versus me listening to Trolls every single day.
That's what I'm talking. So that's what I was saying. Like,
so
earlier,
parents and kids.
Yeah, like when my kids, my older kids, when I would listen to their stuff, it was like torturous because those damn hot potato, like none of the songs were catchy.
Right.
They stuck in your head, but not in a good way. But now all these things for kids, like the adults, it's almost like the show SpongeBob SquarePants, right? It's a show for kids, but adults watch it because there's crazy humor that goes over the kid's head.
Right.
The movie Shrek, you know, like you'd see the movie Shrek, and it's for kids, but there was like a ton of jokes that the adults would be into. So the songs like that, now you do get the adults into it, because right now my kids,
like I won't be annoyed driving, listening to it now. Like usually I'm annoyed. I'm like, Zada, come on, we listened to it like 5 times. Like, come on. Right. But when your beat hits, it's like, all right, well, I can ride to this. This is chilling.
Yeah, that's good. That's super smart. Like right now, my kids are in that stage too, where it's like whatever movie they're into, my son he'll be like, oh, put on, search Kung Fu Panda 4 music, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
That's my daughter.
Yeah,
same thing. Man.
And then like he'll listen to the soundtrack, like not the songs from the movie. He'll listen to This Is When Poe is learning how to use nunchucks, and it's just like the sound, the music, you know,
the background,
the theme, and I'm like, Jax, really, you want to hear this? Yeah, I love this part. I know exactly what part this is. it's I'm gonna put them onto Guavo Learning, so I can sing along. That's great.
You got the bass in the back in the car. You good with the Guavo Learning?
So what was the idea to get kind of like the reggaeton influence into it? Because obviously you could have gone a lot of different routes. You could have went like traditional and stuff, but is it because you're Dominican, you knew like, all right, I want this to have my character, my personality into it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the culture, you know. I was thinking Dembo, but that was too hard. You know, I was like, nah, it just had to, like, also thinking bachata and things like that, but I don't know, I just couldn't.
Along the line.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So I was like, something about just like reggaeton, because I grew up listening to that, you know. Yeah. You know, that was nonstop.
Where'd you grow up,
David? Back in the well, I was born in New York, in the Bronx.
Okay.
Now I grew up in Springfield. So, yeah, the whole parties, you know, and that Puerto Ricans, a lot of Puerto Ricans. That's why I love the Puerto Ricans. You know, Dominicans, they love each other.
Yeah,
that's why I'm sitting next to them.
Yeah, that's right. They used to not like each other. You know, there used to be a thing with Puerto Ricans. And Dominicans.
I didn't want to make a joke about that, but yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
we always talk shit to each other.
No, but when I was younger, everyone would be like, they didn't like Dominicans, right? Yeah. And I would always ask why, and nobody ever They would just be like, just because. And I'm like, just because. Just because what? You got to give me a reason not to like my friend. But then that's kind of like,
it died down.
Yeah, that died down.
I think I know why. All Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, like we all come together.
And the funny thing is, everyone else looks at us and they think we're the same. They don't understand the nuances. Like Dominicans, they like their shirts tight.
No socks.
Yeah.
Today, David dressed nice. Usually, he dresses like a Dominican.
Yeah. Hey, you got to keep it going.
Today he's okay today.
David got his shirt on.
David got a fly. David got a fly Game of Thrones jacket that I want so bad. Remember you wore that Jon Snow one? Like that. I was like, this is insane.
No, but speaking of, I know why. There's a joke that is because of the Don Omar and Romeo Santos song, AJ Joe.
Oh, really?
You ever heard of it?
I haven't heard
of it. It's pretty much Don Omar cheated on Romeo Santos with, Sorry. Yeah, Don Omar, and Romeo Santos, the song AJ Joe, pretty much saying that he cheated on her. Sorry,
So Romeo Santos, Don Omar's girl cheated on him.
No, sorry, Romeo Santos' girl cheated on him with Don Omar, right? And they're like best friends. So like that's what like if you listen to the song, it's just them chilling at a bar and talking about like what's the situation? Why can't y'all love each other? And it's like there's a conflict you don't understand. You wouldn't understand it. And then it's like, ¿Cómo? Like what? You did that? And I think they make a joke that after that Dominicans and Puerto Ricans hate each other.
Yeah. So. By the way, that probably is how it started. That's how everything starts. It's all over a girl.
Yeah.
Facts.
Everything.
I had a heavy reggaeton phase. Like heavy.
Yeah. Nah, but he didn't have the good one though. He's young.
No, I had a fire one. What do you mean?
We grew up, reggaeton was lit.
Yeah, because it wasn't reggaeton like blowing up, especially
like,
here.
When we grew up, it was like
they're good. Yeah, like I think that's where I get a lot of my motivation from too. Just some ideas around what I want to do next is some of the old stuff because it's just classics.
Daddy Yankee, he's an OG, right?
Daddy Yankee, there's Tego Calderon, Don Omar, all those guys we grew up listening to, and Rakim and Ken Y, all those guys.
What?
No, I don't know who that is.
I was on the wall all day in those parties. You don't know about that. Though. You're too young, bro.
What does that mean?
Hey, if you was there, you know.
So Moose, you went through a hard Dominican phase. What were you calling yourself?
Poppy shampoo?
No. No, honestly, like, no, believe it or not, people always assumed I was like Puerto Rican or something.
Yeah,
like the friends I hung out with at the time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like, I was in like 5 quinces. I was at Chambelán in one. I danced better than half those guys. Don't get me going, guys.
Hispanic is like a default when a lot of times when people can't tell what somebody is. If somebody has a unique look, they're like, oh, they got to be Puerto Rican or something.
I had this chick, her aunt was Dominican. She could not say Mustafa every time I come. So she just started calling me Chafa. And Chafa, I would walk in, she could tell Chafa, like, okay. Or like Mostasa, like mustard.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to say my name at all. She's like, just call him Moose. And they couldn't say. No, but and I was actually in my friend's quince, and her family, they're all Dominican. They always spoke Spanish at the house.
Yeah.
And I had another friend, his mom, she spoke mainly Spanish. I understand Spanish very well.
Really?
Can't respond. But I understand.
From just being around
Just from absorbing it. So even like, you're right, like even though as kids, but also I think integrating yourself completely in that world. Like my friend's mom, she literally would tell me to do stuff in Spanish. She'd go, pass me this. Can you go get so-and-so? All in Spanish. So you're right. It really, if you surround yourself, especially as a child.
Yeah, you have to integrate yourself. I went to Italy with my wife. By the end of that vacation, also Italian and Spanish is very similar.
Same root language.
So like if I would hear someone having a conversation, I couldn't tell you the nuances of the conversation, but I could tell you what they were going back and forth about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I'd be like, hold on a second. I'm like, they're arguing something about a car or whatever. I'm like, I don't know what the argument is, but I know it's something about a car. And that's the best, especially for adults. That's what you need. You need because like little kids, again, learning from the music and stuff like that. When you're little, you're just absorbing everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy. But when you're an adult, they're just so used to, they've been growing up for depending on how many years, 20, 30 years hearing one thing, hearing something completely different every now and then, you're never going to absorb it. But if you took an adult and just dropped them in another country in a month, that's a different person.
Yeah.
In a complete, you ever see those things on Instagram where it's like,
2 weeks
it's like,
of me.
yeah, my first day in Puerto Rico. And at the end it's like, órale, papi.
Are you planning on taking the kids to DR one day?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kind of waiting until they're a little bit older so they can really?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I'm thinking of waiting my son. When he's old enough to I think we got to get the passports and all that stuff. But yeah, we're looking to go. My cousin we got family out there, so definitely need to immerse them. I'm trying to figure out a way just to work from home there.
Yeah, it's important.
Hell yeah.
Don't put this online.
No.
They'll find me. Where you at, David? Why are you in DR
he's
working from home?
He's clocking in, and it's the wrong time zone. No, I went to Algeria. This is insane. I went for 3 months when I was
Straight?
6. Yeah, because back then and I am when I was 13 because the tickets were expensive. And for my mom and like my family, like she's not going on vacation. Like she's going to see her family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we think it's 3 months straight. I'm not even kidding. By the end of the trip,
3 months is not a vacation, my boy.
no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like in my head, when you're a kid, you're thinking like, oh, I'm going on a vacation this summer, but my mom is just going home to visit her family. So by the end, it's like you forget English. You're accustomed to their norms. You come back home, you feel out of place for a minute. When I was 13, that was bad because like that's just an interesting age. But then
you went back to high school right after that.
Oh no, I started middle school after that. I literally started middle school a day late. I'll never forget this because we like landed and my mom like the next day we went. Got all the school supplies and everything, and then I just had to jump into school. And I remember just being like, I just spent 3 months in a foreign country, and now I just have to jump back into this. Yeah. But honestly though,
how many languages do you speak?
So English and Arabic. I can read and write French very well. I can pass. I'm not fluent in French, but I can like. If someone came in, I could talk and yeah, but it's not like my strongest one. English and Arabic. Right. But where I also too, not even just the language aspect as well, but like if you ever took your kids to DR, you take your kids to Puerto Rico or wherever. I mean, you went on a trip to Germany with your whole family. Yeah, he's half German.
Nice.
Just thanks for throwing that out there.
No, I'm just saying, like he's
German and Rican.
That's no, and his family like off the boat German. They're like, you know,
wow.
Which I learned a valuable thing. Don't go on vacation with your mom. Because you're right, it wasn't a vacation at all.
Yeah, they're going to see their
I did everything that she wanted to. I'm like, Mom, I'm out of here, man.
What side of your family is German?
I'm my mother.
Your mother? Yeah. And she came here from Germany?
Yeah, my father's in the military, so he was stationed in Germany.
Okay.
So then she moved out here when we was younger.
So do you have like, do you know your grandparents and stuff like that? German grandparents?
Yeah. I grew up white. Like my whole family. Like my whole white side, man.
How German was your family?
Super German.
Very.
Like.
My grandmother, very German. They still have the accent right now to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
So.
I was eating sauerkraut, potato dumplings growing up.
Where were they in 1939 to 1945?
So my grandmother, by the way, is actually half black though. Which is the most craziest thing. So I don't know where they was at in 1930s, but
yeah.
I mean, all the grandkids is all color, so I know there wasn't part of that side, if that's what you're going with the 1930s.
That's why I'm asking how German they were.
That's what I'm saying, you know what I mean? So, but they're very German, though. But
yeah.
He got the German boots. We went to Disney, Epcot. He had that, you know how you go around the world?
Yeah. The other day, I had the whole gear.
Right, you should have seen the picture.
Yeah, swear to God.
It was wild, bro.
That's
Him,
so
Malika,
true.
their daughter, they were all in the thing.
I'm mad German, bro.
Yeah, I swear to God.
That is hilarious.
I just started, like, by Puerto Rican side, it was until I was like a teenager because I grew up in Lynn. Mm-hmm. That's when I started getting into my culture because everybody around me was Puerto Ricans and Dominicans.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was,
so you
I was
went from German to Puerto Rican?
Yeah, I was chilling with their moms and dads in their house learning the culture because I couldn't learn that from my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how I grew up.
Yo, that's hilarious.
That is.
Now, when you came back, Moose, you said you came back from Algeria. Have you ever heard of reverse culture shock?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's where I was going with that, yeah.
Okay, because I never heard of that. A friend of my wife's went through that, and I was like, I did not understand it. Mm-hmm. She went to like, I don't know where she went for a semester abroad, maybe Spain, Italy, or whatever. And she came back, and she got depressed because she couldn't acclimate. I don't know. She couldn't handle. I'm always like, she couldn't handle that her friends like lived a life without her. Like when she came back, people were wearing different clothes. They were listening to different music and stuff like that. And I said, that doesn't make sense to me. She goes, no, it's a thing. Reverse culture shock.
Mine wasn't in that sense. That I don't understand fully because I'm just like, I don't know. Like
yeah,
that.
But he's also stubborn though.
No, okay, all right.
Oh,
no,
man.
we're not. Okay, no, we're not jumping into this.
He's also stubborn, bro.
I tell him that all the time.
Okay.
I'm like, yo, this dude makes up his mind about something and you can't change it.
He's in Algeria. He's just like, I don't want to be here. I'm American.
Yeah.
I know you.
Oh my God, no.
Moose is like, the sky's orange. I'm like, no, it looks blue. No, it's orange.
I was trying to have a heartfelt sentiment here. Oh my God, no, but like I was saying, and I went to Greece two years ago, and I only went for like 10 days. But same thing when I got home. One thing I noticed that everywhere else, whether Europe, well, getting crazy, Europe, North Africa, anywhere you are, mainly anywhere you are, people are extremely what's the word I'm looking for? Generous, extremely. They wear their heart on their sleeve. You know, when I was in Greece, I'll give you a perfect example. I went to the beach with all my friends, and then we wanted to go get something to eat. And they kind of have like a siesta, kind of like they do in Spain, where everything like shuts down for a couple hours, and they open back up. So the guy had just opened back up his pizza shop, And we were like looking around. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, guys?" And at first you think, "Oh, he's trying to like weed in some tourists." And he's like, "No, like here, check out, like come look. I got some pizzas cooking right now. If you see anything you like, like feel free to sit down." So then we said, he's like, "You guys want some free ozu?" So immediately we think, "Oh, they're trying to scam us. They're giving us these free things. What do we want?" Genuinely though, the nicest guy. My friend like didn't like something. He took it off the bill, took the time to make her something else more, was like sitting with us, talking to us, tell us how we open up the shop.
Where was this?
In Greece.
Was it a touristy area?
No.
Exactly. And that's why. If it was a touristy area, they would have taken advantage of you.
Yeah.
100%. I went to Italy and we went to this restaurant in the touristy area and I thought the waiter was the nicest dude. He was like, "Yo, you got to try this. Let me bring you this. I know you're going to try it." So he's bringing us all these things to eat. And I was like, "Yo, this guy's so nice."
And the bill.
Then the bill came. He charged me for everything. I'm like, what the? Yo.
Yeah, no, this guy didn't. Like, he was bringing ozu, bread. He says, "My mom's recipe. This is olive oil from my dad's backyard." Like, he's like, "I love America." He's like, he asked us one, he's like, "Can you please just write a Yelp review for me just because, like, it really helps." So that was one thing I wish we had more of here. Because here I think we're so accustomed to, like, when anyone in the service, or not in the service, excuse me, anyone like a business standpoint, when they're offering you more than you're wanting, you're like, "Oh, there's a catch with this." Right. That's where took me a minute to shift. I remember it vividly when I was like 13 because I was like, forgot how cold people can be.
Yeah. Well, it's because like a sense of community in smaller areas like that. Everybody's helping each other. Think about it. Like back in the day in history, that's the way that you survived. You were like, money didn't matter. You made bread. Made me some bread. I'll go over and fix whatever's broken at your house. Like you traded like useful things.
Yeah.
As opposed to now where everyone
trades.
Yeah, that's what they call trades. Yeah.
So that's how it was when I went to Cuba. Like me and my girl, my man's his girl. We went to Cuba. Yo, they all worked together.
Yeah.
Like the man, he had the horse. He was like, "You guys want to ride?" We're like, "Yeah, we'll take a ride." Turns back. He's like, "You guys are hungry?" We're like, "Yeah, we're hungry. I know a place." Brings it to somebody's house. Right. Grandmother in the back. Like not even a restaurant.
Oh wow.
So sets us all up on the table. So we got the ride there. He sets us up to the person's house. Then out of nowhere, some guy comes with a guitar from the outside, just starts playing music to us while we're eating. Like, but they all work, they all hustle together. Like it's like a hustle. Like they do it together, which is kind of lit. Like,
that's cool.
We don't do that here. It's kind of like, hey,
if that happens here, you're like, somebody's trying to set me up. Someone's trying to distract. The guitar guy's trying to distract me, so this dude can steal my wallet.
Like even when you hustle together, like most people don't anymore. It's like they're like jealous of each other. It's like, "Oh, well, that's your hustle. Figure it out." Versus how it was in Cuba. It's like now, like we're gonna hustle together. Sense of community.
Was Cuba cool? I want to visit Cuba.
Cuba, honestly, I was in the slums. I didn't stay. My girl set me up. So his sister, she's like one of those travelers where you're gonna be in the slums.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mans, I didn't tell him, but I kind of knew. I told my mans we're gonna be on a resort and stuff.
You pull up to a hostel.
Yo, but our building that we stayed, like half the building was gone. There was like crumbles all inside our rooms and stuff. Yo, my man was so tight. He was like, "Yo, where did you bring me to?" I was like, "Bro, see what happened was," But honestly, Cuba was cool. The people there were mad nice. They love America. Like it was fun. I went to a couple of clubs. The club scene in Cuba, bro, it's fire.
In Havana?
I don't remember where I think we was in Havana for a little bit. But man, we went to an art gallery, then out of nowhere they brought us to a club. Man, they know how to have fun.
Art gallery.
A lot of Bacardi though.
That's fine.
A lot of Bacardi.
Yeah.
Yo, you should go. I mean, well,
I want to.
You can't go now. We went right before Donald Trump went in and stopped everybody from going. Like we had that 1 year before when we all went. And honestly, it was the greatest experience I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah. Because, like, to see people so humble, like, because they have no money there.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Like, when you're walking on the streets, like, there's no doors or nothing. So you can see everybody's whole household, and, like, they have nothing. Yeah. So to see that and then come back here, it's like you change the way you think about everything.
Yeah. People need to, I don't know how they set this up, but they need to require humans to travel to another country at some point in your life.
Yeah.
Because you get so caught up in your what's happening in your block, in your neighborhood, in your city that you forget that there's different cultures.
People think America is the center of the world.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Moose, I was going to ask you, if you have kids, God willing, are you going to teach them Arabic?
Yeah, no, of course. Hopefully I can maintain it long enough. Also, I think like
his is not that good though.
Mine's Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll be around his whole family. He's the weakest one.
Yeah, he is just spewing out lies right now. That is not true. My Arabic's fire. Yeah, I think also it depends on like the girl I marry. She also happens to be Arabic. That'll be like 10 times easier. If not,
Yeah.
I'm telling your mother, she better be.
Do you have to marry an Arabic girl? Is your mom like strict with that?
Yes.
She would want me to. I think she would prefer me to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type of girls are you attracted to? Do you have a type right now?
He definitely does.
You know, Guavo Learning, also, I think, when it comes to language with children, how this conversation just flipped onto
Listen, we're going to do Guavo Learning for
Italian girls, dark hair.
Dark, okay.
Who just...
Dark hair Italian girls.
Dark hair
but
Italian girls.
like what type of Italian? Like Rivera Italian, the Americanized ones.
Very
really?
Yo, very Rivera, bro. That's why I thought it was funny. He was like, I had a Spanish stage in my life, and I'm trying to wonder like when was that? 'Cause
You know exactly when it was.
It was when he watched a Daddy Yankee video.
I met you during that phase. That's when you and Malika started dating. I knew you during that time. I was going to all the quinces and stuff. You remember this?
I know, because you have one Spanish friend.
I had like 4. My whole group was Spanish friends. Come on. Anyways, what was your question?
My question is: so you're attracted to the most Americanized Italian girls?
No, I really. All right,
like the ones who, if they had a chance to go to Italy, wouldn't want to go.
No, absolutely not.
They go to North End.
Yeah,
to the North End.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have I don't have a type like that. I mean, no, just like kind.
Bro, it's okay.
Let's go get some canellis. Like that type.
Guys, you're putting me on the spot right now. But
Bro, it's all good. You got your type. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, everybody has a type, and you never.
What's your type?
Your sister.
Thank you.
No, see how quick he answered that?
See, he's a man.
10 years.
That's very, very.
And
smart.
I had to break that. Her mom,
Yeah.
Her mom used to call me Fernando for like.
That was the funniest thing.
It wasn't funny at all.
No,
bro.
she was dead serious.
She didn't like me at all. It was like because I'm not part of the culture. Like this Puerto Rican kid.
See, and
I stood my ground though. Like Fernando, haha.
Yeah.
Funny. That's okay.
Antonio close.
And
now we're cool.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I didn't fold. That's the thing. That's how his mom is. Like, she's going to try to break your balls. Like, she's going to see if you're going to sit there and take it. If you don't take it, she ain't going to mess with you.
Wow.
Me, on the other hand, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll joke around with you back. And I'll be going in on his mom back.
Yeah, and he broke it. Look at that. He got through.
Another 2 peas in a pod.
Now his mom loves me.
They text each other on like Instagram. She'll swipe up and like he'll post
all the time, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she always hits me all the time. I'm like, all right, I still love you.
Awesome.
I appreciate that.
You're teaching Zara Arabic, right?
I mean, I'm not.
No,
but
you know what I mean. I'm saying you speak to her.
all of them do.
Oh yeah, we all do. Yeah, I mean Malika does. Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, even with Lindsay, how's her Spanish? Like, has she been trying to pick up?
No, she had it in high school. So my wife Lindsay. So yeah, in high school she decent. She knows it, but then if you're not around it, you lose it. So I think that's what I'm afraid of. If she's around a lot of English, it's just like my daughter. Sorry, like how is she gonna kind of keep it going? So
Zara calls you T.O.
I think but the fact that you're like teaching her the culture though, like because growing up she's gonna want to go more in depth into the culture. Like she's gonna stick to that. Like you know, that's like Zara. Like she has 3 cultures. Like we did Oktoberfest with my whole German family, but I'm also half Puerto Rican, but she's also Arabic. So like to see, she's like multicultural, which we stick to. Like I'm American, but man, I stick by a lot of Puerto Ricans. I'm always around them. I'm also around my Germans, but I'm also around all the Arabs too. So I chill with mad Moroccans. Like so to teach the kids that to be that way, like she's gonna be more in depth. Because like I said, I got older. My teenage years when I started getting into, I'm from Germany. Like what is Germany? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's really the culture there? And same thing with the Puerto Ricans, you know what I mean? On the Puerto Rican side. Like, I love Puerto Rico. That's, like, my favorite place in the world.
Yeah.
It is.
Me too.
It's probably the best place I've ever been to, actually.
Yeah, I love Puerto Rico.
Because of the people there. Like, how they are. Like, it's chilling there. But for Fiona, I think, just because Lindsay, she doesn't speak Spanish, but, man, if you keep talking about the culture, like, growing up, you influence her to be about the culture.
Yeah, I'll take her to Lynn. To some of the
can't afford to go to Puerto Rico right now. We'll bring you to Lynn.
The closest thing.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty close.
My wife speaks more Spanish than me at this freaking point. She's Lebanese. She's half Lebanese, half Italian. She speaks.
Where she learns?
From my parents. She would just go to my parents and say, talk to me in Spanish because I want to learn it. So my mother and my father would talk to her in Spanish. Now she's a real estate attorney, right? she'll talk to clients that only speak Spanish and do deals with them.
Wow.
And she'll sometimes say to me, she'll be like, "Oh, how do you say this?" I go, "I have no idea."
Wow.
like that's like a legal term.
Right. That's hard. Right.
It's crazy. I'll hear her on the phone and I'm like, I don't even know what she's saying. Half the words she's saying. I'll hear she's talking.
That's amazing for her to be confident and do that. And
she does. She went to East Boston.
Yeah.
And it was this realtor girl was like, "Oh, I want to do speak to Spanish clients about buying first time home, whatever." So my wife went and she was like, she goes, the real estate girl was, you know how there's Spanish and then there's like, I call it white girl Spanish,
right,
like where you understand what they're saying, but like they're pronouncing the words like all wrong. She said that the girl was talking like that. She goes, so I just went in there and just started. Bah, 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 bah. Wow. She led the whole freaking seminar.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's insane,
incredible. Yeah, that's actually something at work. I actually started taking some Spanish clients. I mean, I know how to speak Spanish. I'm fluent, but like that business Spanish is
professional Spanish.
Right. That's like a whole different beast.
Because she tuned into Guavo Learning.
I need to watch Guavo Learning. My Spanish is just like basic conversation. I could go on and order food at a restaurant. You start talking to me about business, I'll be like,
you lost me.
You're losing me right now.
So that's exactly. Yeah. So just, even just like, I was talking to like one of my clients and she's Spanish first language, and she's a professional. She's like, I wonder, that's another idea. Maybe you were talking about ideas. Let's see. But the idea of like teaching adults professional Spanish who have lost it, like whatever. I don't know what it is, but just in a sense.
Guavo Learning the adult. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Subscribe to this adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's doing, what's it, that app? Duolingo now?
Yeah.
But Duolingo's not set to music. I bet you adults will learn better too with music.
That's so true.
That's another. That could be another.
That's the next level.
Creative digest, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. So just different ways to kind of continue that language. So that's key. You know.
It's really good too. I mean, especially I think a lot of kids who are multiracial and things like that. I think I have friends who are like they're mixed. They're Spanish in this or Arabic in this and Arab in this. Excuse me. And it's good that you're doing this now because I think eventually they hit a point in their life where they're going to be, like you just said it, they're going to get curious about one side over the other and learning more. And so, the fact that your kids are going to grow up, in a Spanish-speaking household and things like that, they're not going to feel like there's a lack of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Whether it's language or cultural.
Right.
Like, we're having arroz con pollo, then we're ending the night with like Arabic tea at his house, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and like his daughter's so around that it's normal. They're not gonna feel like, oh, a part of me's missing, you know? So it's really important.
And then they're gonna find some like for me, like I was a chef for a long time. Mm-hmm. So like the way I represent my culture, I infused all of it together. Then I created my own, like, because I'm Indian, but I've been hanging out with the Algerians for a long time, so their spices is great too.
This man can
cook.
And
I'm Puerto Rican.
Bro, you need to make a restaurant with German, Algerian, and Puerto Rican fusion.
Ooh, that's wild.
That's crazy. About that. I don't even know what it's gonna smell like when you walk in there.
A person in the Midwest would just like.
Yeah, you walk in there and be like, "Gema, gondo."
But that's how I get back to my own culture. It's like, I studied their food, their cuisines. That's why I used to go to Puerto Rico all the time. Like, I'll just go to like the little local spots. Same thing. Like, I go to my grandma's house. Like, she has the German books though. All her recipes in German. She said she's gonna give it to me, but I can't read it, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But to learn her ways too, and then to be around his sister Fatima, where she can cook. So like, I'll mimic everything she do, and I'll bring it back to my house, and I'll do it. But I'll infuse it my way with my spices, you know what I mean? So
is that what you are? You're a chef?
Used to be.
By trade, yeah.
Used to be. Right now, I'm a assistant director of operations for Logan Airport. I oversee 9 restaurants at the airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He can cook.
Crazy. I can cook.
Yeah, you gotta get him back to you gotta open up his own business.
On my high school graduation party, we threw it at their place, and the poor guy was just slaving over the grill and the food. He didn't even enjoy himself.
But I enjoyed but that's the thing I enjoyed though.
Yeah,
like, that's what I like. Yeah, I don't do it anymore like professionally because it's about a paycheck. It sucks. But like when you do it for people that you love and like they can enjoy it, because I'm behind the line. I can't see the guests like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Versus you guys come to my house and be like, yo. What Tone did, that shit was dope.
All my friends were like, who cooked? Like, where did you
gotta open up a small restaurant or something.
You gotta motivate him. That's what we've been talking about.
I told him he should start a food review page called Two Taste Tony.
It's just hard. It's a hard business. Not
It'd be
easy.
fire.
Like the restaurant business is not.
No,
easy.
No, it's not. But start with something small. You know, do you know, there's some restaurants that are only open on the weekends or whatever. Do it like on your own time and build it from there. Don't start with something huge.
I think.
Do you want to be an operations manager at the airport? That's what I'm saying. You got to follow your passion.
It's trash too. You're right. I'm still trying to figure it out.
He needed to hear this. That's what we need to motivate him.
Now we're gonna move to Antonio.
So, hey, this is what you right.
You gotta follow your passion.
Yeah, we gotta talk about my life, so we're gonna switch.
Relax, hold on.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, no. That's why he's been thinking about it too. That's all we talk about. Yo, what can we do to even my business, his business? Yo, like, let's make it. You know, we came from nothing.
Support,
you know what I mean? Right.
It's good. I mean, that's what you do when you hang out. Is like the best advice I ever got from someone is like hang out with someone that has more money than you, because then you're gonna change your mindset. Like you're gonna start talking about those things that is gonna click to you. Like, oh, maybe I should do that. So like when we all get together, like yeah, we chill, but like we'll have our own time in the back while everybody's chilling, and we'll just throw ideas at each other all day.
That's the way it should
and
be.
It's about everything too. You know what I mean? And
I'll peek my head out. I'm like, what's going on, guys? They're like, get back inside.
I'm with Lindsay. He's chilling with his wife.
Yeah. People always say, like, there was one guy I saw, I told the story. He said, I got into an elevator with these, what was the bit? It was like these business dudes at a convention or whatever. And I forget what the business was. Let's say the business was like, I don't know, selling printers or whatever. But they were all high executives. And he said, they had a conversation where I was in there learning crazy stuff. He said they did not one of the guys talked about the printer business. They were all talking about investments, how to grow, how to, increase, how to be better in life. Right. And it goes with what you're saying, you know? It's all mindset stuff. Yeah. But you got to follow your passion.
Nah, for sure.
For real.
Nah, for sure.
Let's go. That's what we needed. I called you here. Yeah. We got you here. This is God sent. we
got that German, Algerian, Puerto Rican cuisine.
That'd be wild.
I want to just say this.
The main dish, I'm sorry to interrupt. The main dish will be like a sampler of one of each. The biggest. What's a big German?
So what I say is wild because like Algerians don't eat pork.
Oh yeah.
That's why it's wild. And then
that could get interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, the Germans and Puerto Ricans, we eat pork.
Yeah.
It would just be a wild.
Moose, you ruined it.
I ruined it. It's all my fault,
there's one little section
guys.
in the back of the restaurant.
It's my fault. We can do the desserts because we got the French pastry, so we can do the desserts. Yeah.
That's a fact.
What's the town you guys were in?
Where?
In Germany, Schweinfurt? Is that
Schweinfurt. So I brought his sister, right, to Germany with my whole family.
Yeah.
I knew about Germany, but I did not realize like you can't buy anything else except for pork and croissants. I had no idea. But then the town that my mom stays in is called Pigtown, Schweinfurt. So all you see is pigs everywhere, like pig statues. My girl, she hated it. She was eating croissants every single day. Like they ain't nothing to eat.
You know what's funny? My girl, she's Lebanese, right? And it's funny because her family, like, they were Muslim, but Muslim-ish. Yeah. Like they picked it. Like her grandfather, like he prayed, he did all that stuff. But the next generation down was like, oh, we don't eat pork.
So
we don't. Yeah, but my wife's mom, was like, oh, we don't eat pork. When my wife went to college, she had bacon for the first time. She called up her parents, started yelling at them. She said, why did you deprive me of this? And her mother's like, we don't eat that. And she goes, you don't eat that. I eat that now.
All right.
Yeah. It's crazy, but that's going back to what the more, like my parents came from Puerto Rico, right? So now I was born here. I'm the generation born here that a lot of people are, where they'll speak the language, speak English, but again, it's the percentage is way higher English than Spanish, but I still do some of the cultural things just because it's what I grew up with. But now my kids are going to have less than that, and then their kids are going to have less than that. So what you're doing is good for the kids who are like, well, I know that my grandparents are from this country, but my parents are a little more Americanized. I want to learn more about my culture, learn the language and stuff.
Yeah,
Guavo Learning, baby.
And that's why my mom says you better find a nice Arab girl that's gonna hold it down for you. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
What happens. So, but I was gonna say real quick,
when you get that Italian from Revere, man, say goodbye to every part of your.
That's she's gonna kick him out of the house. Like, yeah,
no.
Moose is gonna be like, oh, let's get a nice meal, and she's gonna be like, all right, let's go to Billy Bob's roast beef.
You guys think really high of me. I'm really happy to see this is what you guys think of me. No, like I just wanted to say one quick excerpt. Really, I'm funny. So obviously, like, my sister's with Antonio, and I've known David's wife since I was like a little kid. Fun fact. This is actually hilarious. David's wife was my first crush when I was like 4 years old. I used to bring her like candy. I'd be like, hi, Lindsay. I'd be like, hi, Lindsay. Anyways, but no, they're obviously so similar because they're like best friends. And when I met David later, but obviously I met Antonio first, and I was like, who the hell? Because you've met my sister. Like she
I remember that day. This dude was eyeballing like this little kid looking at me. Who's this little kid? Like up and down and that, like, and then I walked into the living room. He's like, who are you? I just looked at him. I'm like, who are you, my boy? Like,
I was like 14 or like 13. Yeah, because no, she never brought a guy around me.
Yeah.
Ever. Maybe like once a while ago when she was like a teenager. But like,
What's
never.
the age difference between you and Malika?
11 years? Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell her age online because she'll be mad at me. But.
Okay. Yeah, 11 years ish. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, we literally threw her a surprise birthday party, and I didn't know he was a chef at the time. I didn't know who he was. And I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden he walks in with this boy, and he has like this, like, he bought her a coat, and it was like this really nice coat, and it came all wrapped up, and everyone was like, oh, and I was like, who the f is?
Like, who's this mechanic?
I thought he was a mechanic because of the thing on the patch on his chef
Racist.
uniform. I was like, no, you're terrible. I was like,
Then he comes over the next week, and I'm making pasta or something.
yeah.
And he's like, I don't want that. I only eat real pasta. Then after he ate it, he was like, oh. What's your name again? I can mess with this guy.
No, we got really cool, like really tough. But then David, after I started cracking up, because I'm like, yo, y'all got like really similar guys. Like they're on the same wavelength all the time.
Well, that's how I met David though, was through his sister.
Okay.
Because I grew up in Lynn.
Yeah.
The mindset stayed there, so I moved out of Lynn. So I left everybody behind. So like my clique is like my girls' friends, which is my friends now.
Yeah.
Since we've been together for 10 years now, like that is one of my closest friends as an adult now.
Yeah.
Now it's funny you say that because our daughters look alike.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Our daughters are like best friends too.
Yeah. So they're every time we go somewhere, it's like, oh, they're sisters because I don't know if you got a picture, but yeah, them two together. But yeah, they're both beautiful.
And where do you guys live now? Where do you live, Antonio?
So I live in Winthrop.
Winthrop
In Revere.
and Revere. All right, cool. Gotcha.
So, but yeah, what's interesting too is because like Revere doesn't have any like Spanish immersion schools like that you could, which I think it makes sense. It makes sense because most of them speak Spanish. So it's like, why would you have a school to learn Spanish? But that's a part. I think you got to go into like Boston, and Lynn has a few immersion schools. But that's a key. Like I want my daughter to go into schools where they speak in Spanish, but I gotta try to find one of those. But hopefully that'll help me. So release some of the stress off of me trying to do it all along.
Once you start making that Guavo Learning money,
you bring it wherever.
You can bring it to anyone.
Bro, you're gonna don't get caught up on anything crazy because you're appealing to kids. You know,
that's funny. Interesting you said that. I was looking through my Twitter. I'm like, I gotta delete
everything,
like things like that Instagram and like
don't have too much fun outside at a pool or anything like that.
No, it's
Guavo Learning was grinding at a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
two separate ones.
No.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea because you mess up sometimes. Think about how many people gotten busted with
Kevin Durant.
Yeah. They'll put something from their other one. You know, like sometimes you just go on and post something real quick and you're like, oh shit, I posted that on my, my other account or whatever. No, you got to keep it one. So that way you stay clean whenever you go online, it's clean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
See, I'm lucky because when I first started on the radio, I did scumbaggy shit. So like now
there's no trace.
There is nothing that I can do that people are going to be like, yo, that's messed up. They'll be like, that sounds about right. Like you could catch me like walking out of the most reckless club at 6 o'clock in the morning with my arms around two hookers and white powder under my nose, and they'll be like, he was having a good weekend.
Oh well, David, do you have anything coming up in the horizon you want to chat about real quick? So you said you're working on one more song.
Yeah, I got everything. So I think the next challenge is kind of copyright stuff. So that's something. Yeah. So there's a lot.
It's a lot of legal stuff now, like the logistics.
So just trying to obviously. So you got to contact the publisher or whatever and kind of get the rights, ask for permission to pretty much use the song. So I'm starting to learn that process. Yeah. So I'm starting to dive into that. I still got to do a little bit more research on Wheels on the Bus and Head, Shoulders, Knees, it's on the public domain. So that's why it's easy to use. I'm going to try to find a few other ones that are on the public domain so that I could use it without having to ask for permission. But eventually I'm going to have to do copyright stuff.
So public domain is like you could just...
I think it's like before 1920, whatever number it is.
Okay.
But yeah, anyone can use it. You don't have to ask for permission.
Oh, okay.
So that's why those two are easy to use. But now I'm getting into copyright. I think it's part of the process. So I'm trying to learn, understand it, because from there, if I want to use more songs, because there's like I could do, I have a long list, but like Baby Shark, like the Aladdin Span, you know what I mean? There's a couple in there. It's like there's a lot that I just gotta think through and kind of just ask for permission, and I don't know how long that's gonna take. So I'm trying to put something out. Like, what about? Hopefully the copyrights come back quick, but hopefully by the end of the year, maybe in January. But yeah, keep rotating and keep it going.
Are you trying to do like a song monthly?
I'm trying to do every 2 months because it just takes time. And now the copyright is going to slow me down a little
I wish
bit.
we prepped this earlier. We could have did a whole Christmas thing.
Ooh.
That would have been fun.
Smart thinking, my boy.
I know.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
See that? See, we're all helping each other out.
Navidad.
I don't know if you guys helped me. I just felt harassed.
Right, we did. We told you. You need to stop being so damn stubborn.
I know. I got roasted this
and expand your horizons when it comes to your choice of women.
Well, David.
And also, I don't want to see you recording your cousins dancing. I would rather see you be the one dancing.
Oh, I know. Freaking Moose shows us this video. He's like, I had so much fun in New York. And it was videos of his cousins having
mics
fun.
Were off when we said this story.
All right, David, what's something you wish you were better at?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I instantly thought about singing. That's first thing. Obviously, there's every day, I'm trying to just work on myself and trying to improve.
Yep.
But yeah, I think one thing that just popped up, just singing, because that's not in my wheelhouse. I like to try to follow a lot of Kobe, Mamba mentality, trying to be better. David Goggins, like those motivational guys that they tell you like do hard things.
Yep.
So that's what I try to focus on. But singing is a hard one. It's not easy because we all think that we can sing in our bathrooms and things like that. But if I can get better at singing, that would be help me and Guava Learning too.
If you could time travel, are you going backwards? Are you going forward? And what's the first thing you're gonna go see?
We're going forward. Yeah. Never going back.
Really?
Yeah. Going forward.
Forward to like what?
Just future, whatever life. I don't know. I don't like to go back and, everything happens for a reason, I mean, there's a million things I could have gone back and changed, but.
How far in the future, though? Be specific. You going like 50 years? You going, what do you want to see first?
I want to see I'd like to see what would happen in 3000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm 33.
You wouldn't be alive in 3000, dude.
No, I'm trying to see how. No, my daughter would probably be. That's what I'm trying to do the math.
What?
No,
your daughter 3000. She'd be.
No, I can't do math.
She'd be 900 years old.
So Guavo Learning is for words in Spanish, not math.
Yeah. I'm good at that. No, I don't know why I thought 3000 was 3 years ago.
Go back in time and learn arithmetic. I want to see my daughter in the year 3000.
Seriously, he's like, Fiona, this amount of years will be.
For some reason, I thought that it was only 100 years from now.
Yeah. In 100 years from now, your daughter's going to be 80.
So you would like to see your kids older, is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Gotta see what their life will be 50 years.
Sleep the numbers out of him.
About 50 years from now. Yeah, 50 years from now.
Okay. Okay, you were talking about doing hard things. What's your morning routine? Do you have like a morning routine?
Yeah, I like to work out in the mornings. So I like to run. So I told you I did a marathon. I think that has actually helped me organize a lot of my thoughts and kind of just helped me stay in shape. I played football.
Yeah.
And growing up, I played high school, played college football.
Really? Where?
Yeah, Nichols College.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, so I used to work out. So I was always about lifting and and getting exercises. I used to hate running. So then after I graduated, I started working full time, started getting into Goggins and all those guys and just telling us do hard things and things you hate. And I'm like, I hate running. So I'm like, I picked it up. So usually in the mornings, I like to run. And, I think if that kind of just starts the day. And then obviously
how much are you running in the morning?
A couple miles. Not too crazy. When I was in marathon prep, it was a lot. I think today I did 8 miles.
Nice. You doing it outside or on the
trail? On the beach. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Just go out there. Yeah, I'm so grateful to be so close to the beach too, because it's sometimes I go on the sand just so I could be closer to the water and things like that.
Do you throw yourself in the water every now and then? Cold immersion?
I used to. Yeah, exactly.
Really?
For the marathon, I went into when I was recovering, I would just put sometimes my full body, but usually the legs.
You want to do hard things? Throw your ass in that cold water in the morning.
That's actually another thing I've been thinking about, working on, like the cold, because obviously there's a lot of
Start
benefits.
with cold showers.
I know. That's hard. I can't do it. I love being warm. I do. Dominican, we the Spanish people, we love the warm, the hot. When I go to Springfield or when I visit any of my family, they got the degrees on like 100 degrees. My wife hates it.
She's like, turn on the
Why is it so hot in here? Like, sorry. But yeah, that's a piece I'd love to get, like cold plunge and all that stuff too. That would help me do hard things too. I've been actually kind of even just like doing things with my left hands.
Oh, that's
just
good.
to kind of trick your mind and like brush your teeth is hard with the opposite hand, and just try to like train that other side of the brain.
I'm convinced that's part of that helps people like not get Alzheimer's and stuff like that when they get older, because people like to get into such a routine that even, like you said, left-handed, right? Yeah. If somebody's right-handed, even they don't even consider even doing anything with their left hand. You might lose your right hand tomorrow. Right. You don't know.
That's what.
But like every now and then, just do something that is out of the norm.
Right.
Go to work.
Right. Take a left turn instead of right turn where you usually go.
So many different things.
Break off on the routine. Yep.
That, it expands, those little neurons in your brain start, connecting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Big into kind of like the whole like meditation and Joe Dispenza, like kind of like.
Yeah, just, man. I love that dude.
Right. It's
love
like
that dude.
All science it's facts. It's like you can't make it up. Like meditation and putting yourself in the moment and all that stuff goes a long way too.
Yeah.
And just
okay. See, Goggins. I love Goggins. I love Joe Dispenza. What else do you? I love the Kobe stuff.
Yeah. Sam. I forget. Sam Harris is.
Sam Harris. Yep.
One. Kobe. Yeah, Goggins. Oh, Nipsey.
Who?
Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, Nipsey Hussle. No, I haven't seen any like his like motivational stuff.
Yeah, just to his marathon. The marathon.
Okay.
I love that whole concept of kind of just. Life is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. It's just, I've been through a lot growing up. Came from nothing.
Yeah.
So just keep fighting and keep going.
You would like Jocko too. You ever heard of Jocko?
Him, he's good too. Yeah, the military dude, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he does some. Yeah, I heard some good stuff with him. It was one thing that. Oh, I think I sent you that recently. That like when you're going through, when there's a challenge or there's a problem, he's like good.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like good. Like that means that we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, we're gonna make it work.
That's great. And you said Joe Dispenza meditation?
Yep.
Okay.
Sam Harris meditation. Okay. Try to work on. Sam Harris has a mobile app that I've had for a couple of years, a long time. But yeah, just focusing on like the mental health stuff too.
Yeah. And you do it every day?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I'll try to. I mean, I used to be very good about it, but I kind of slacked off. But because there's other ways that you can meditate, right?
Right.
You can run, even just being with my daughter, my son, my wife, just being there and present. That's kind of like a form of praying.
Yeah.
There's a billion ways, but yeah, sometimes it's kind of difficult just to sit there. But yeah, I try to make it work as much as possible.
Trying to explain to people why meditation is good is so hard sometimes because...
So you get it or you don't.
Yeah, because I'll have, I tried it. It didn't work for 5 minutes. I'm like, you tried it for 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, there are times that I go to meditate and it's just like everything else. Sometimes you have good ones. Sometimes you have a sucky session, but you just got to do it every day.
Exactly.
And I talked to my wife about it, and now she's been meditating probably like 2-3 years in a row now.
Wow.
Yeah. But at first
That's
she was
amazing.
like, I don't get it. And I was like, just keep doing it.
Right.
Just keep doing it. It'll work.
I tell her that I'm going to give her my wife's number because I'm trying to get her to get into meditation.
Tell her to start 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes when you get up.
Even just like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
It feels like
just anything.
I've been telling him to get into meditation.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you. It's so hard to explain. It's like, you know what it is? It's like plugging your phone into a charger. That's the best way to describe it.
I haven't thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's almost, it's just like you're just recharging, you're resetting. It's like you're clearing out. Like if you could have a little faucet in you and you just clear out the BS for a while, and it kind of and it resets you. But Moose doesn't know anything about that. He's too stubborn. So okay.
He's gonna text me like, man, I wish I never brought you. Why invite you, Tone?
I kind of had a feeling this would happen.
Last question, is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have?
a good question. Nah, you asked me everything that prepared prior to it. No, can't think of anything.
Very nice then. Guavo
No, I appreciate you. No, thank you so much for this opportunity.
This is good. One day he's gonna be blowing up, guys, and he's gonna act like he don't know us. So
no, hell no, I'm not like that. No, hell no, I'm not like that. I'm far from I know everybody who helped me still helping me. So I appreciate my wife. She's my rock. My kids, my friends, my family, my nephews, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, everyone, my brothers and my sisters. They all, all supporting me and just even do small things like, I don't even know off the top of my head, but there's so many small things that they do that just help me, kind of just motivate me. Even just watching my nephews watch the videos and actually dance to it, I'm like, I got to keep going, and I got to stay motivated, and it's not done alone.
One more idea. You're going to have a character. Because it's good. It's 2024 now. You could do like combination of humans with cartoons interacting and stuff eventually down the line. One of the cartoons is going to be Antonio, like a cartoon chef. It can't be Antonio like this because Antonio doesn't have the look that appeals to kids.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't either. I understand. But it's going to be you as a cartoon chef. This way we're going to get Antonio doing the stuff that he loves, and you set it to music. Little kids love, all the stuff that you don't like doing as an adult, like, chores and stuff like that. Little kids love it in the beginning. Right. Think about it. Like, when you're, little, you're like, you want to help your mom clean. You want to go out and shovel snow and stuff. And then you hit an age where you're like, that's bullshit.
Boring, yeah.
Like, my kids now, if we're cooking and stuff, they want to help. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, depending on how much time you have, you're like, all right, you can crack the egg, you can do this. Other times you're like, no, let me do it. But get him into, have Chef Antonio teach you how to make
great idea.
Whatever, scrambled eggs, little things like that. Yeah, and do it to music.
Yeah.
He's a cartoon. Maybe have him throw his voice in there real quick.
Right.
And boom.
That's a good idea.
Like that.
There you go.
Appreciate
and then we'll get Ramiro's kids on the next music video.
We gotta get
that
all
the kids in this first one.
Yeah, the next one the next one got the idea.
By the way, we didn't get paid for that yet. My
they're busy that day.
It's not like I paid everybody off. Like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, for some reason they can't make it.
I pay them in candy.
Yeah, literally.
I literally tell them, I got candy, and they agree to it.
Yeah,
that's it. It ends there. Nah, definitely not. I mean, I'm far from that, so I don't know what the future has, but I gotta work every day. I gotta put the work in, and it's the mission. I want to help the kids. I'm not worried about that extra stuff. Eventually, obviously that's nice, but
cool. Well, thank you for coming in.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Mustafa. Thank you once again.
Appreciate you.
Thank you guys.
Man, thank you.